What if the world you know is just a thin veil, one that could be torn away by something as ordinary and as impossible as a staircase rising from the forest floor? Imagine wandering deep into the wilderness, miles from the nearest soul, only to stumble upon a flight of steps pristine, untouched, and leading nowhere. Why are they there? Who built them? And what happens if you dare to climb? Tonight we plunge into the chilling legend of the mysterious staircases in the woods, a story that has haunted the internet, blurred the line between fact and fiction, and awakened a primal fear of the unknown. These aren't just stories, they're warnings, they're puzzles that refuse to be solved. As you watch, you'll discover how a simple tale on Reddit spiraled into a global obsession fueling real-life searches, spawning countless theories and leaving even the most skeptical minds unsettled. Stay with us, because the truth behind these staircases is far stranger and far more disturbing than you could ever imagine. Miss a single detail, and you might miss the key to understanding one of the most unnerving modern mysteries. And before we descend any further, a quick but important note. Most people who watch our videos aren't subscribed to the channel. If you crave the darkest mysteries and want to be the first to uncover secrets that most will never dare to face, hit that subscribe button now. Join our community and never miss a revelation that could change the way you see the world. Forever. Ready? Let's begin. But remember, once you've seen what lies at the heart of this legend, the woods will never feel the same again. In August 2015, a series of posts on Reddit sparked one of the most intriguing digital folklore phenomena of recent years. The mysterious staircases found deep in American forests. The original accounts appeared on the subreddit r/NoSleep, where a user claiming to be a search and rescue officer for the U.S. Forest Service described unusual experiences during rescue missions in remote areas. Among the most striking details was the repeated mention of isolated staircases, sometimes in perfect condition, standing alone in the wilderness. These reports described staircases made of wood, stone, or concrete, sometimes well-preserved, other times decaying, but always strangely out of place. According to the posts, these structures could be found dozens of miles from the nearest signs of human life, surrounded by dense vegetation and silence. What made the phenomenon even more unsettling was the supposed rule among forest rangers. They were forbidden to approach or climb these stairs, though no official explanation was ever given. The phenomenon quickly spread beyond Reddit. As more users shared the original posts, discussions erupted across various social media platforms, and the story of the mysterious staircases began to take on a life of its own. People claimed to have seen similar structures during hikes or camping trips, and the idea of finding a staircase in the middle of nowhere became a viral topic in online horror communities. The original author, writing under the pseudonym Search and Rescue Woods, published a series of 8 posts that were later compiled into a collection called Search and Rescue Woods. The stories combined supernatural elements with the mundane realities of search and rescue work, making them feel plausible and relatable. As the posts gained popularity, they inspired adaptations in other media, including an episode of the television series Channel Zero Butcher's Block, and countless YouTube videos exploring the phenomenon. The viral spread of these stories led to a surge in online theories attempting to explain the existence of the staircases. Some readers speculated about supernatural causes, suggesting the stairs could be portals to other dimensions or remnants of paranormal activity. Others proposed more rational explanations, such as the idea that these staircases were simply the last surviving parts of old buildings or fire lookout towers, with the rest of the structures having decayed or been reclaimed by nature over time. Despite the growing number of personal anecdotes and discussions, there was never any concrete evidence to support the existence of these isolated staircases as described in the original posts. Researchers and skeptics pointed out that while abandoned structures can be found in forests, the specific phenomenon of pristine, freestanding staircases, miles from civilization, appeared to be rooted more in internet storytelling than in documented reality. Even so, the fascination with the idea persisted, blending the line between urban legend and digital folklore. As the legend evolved, it began to influence real-world perceptions. Hikers, campers, and even some park rangers started to report their own encounters with isolated staircases, often sharing photographs online. Many of these images showed old, crumbling steps, usually made of stone or concrete, remnants of long-forgotten buildings or fire towers. However, none matched the eerie, untouched staircases described in the original Reddit post structures that seemed deliberately placed and completely out of context. The phenomenon also sparked a wave of content creation across YouTube and other platforms. Creators produced videos analyzing the origins of the legend, exploring abandoned sites, and even attempting to find these mysterious staircases themselves. The story's reach extended into mainstream culture, inspiring novels and television episodes, and becoming a recurring topic in discussions about modern internet folklore. The line between fact and fiction blurred further as more people became convinced that the phenomenon was real. One of the most significant developments came when Kerry Hammond, the writer behind the pseudonym Search and Rescue Woods, revealed the fictional nature of the original stories. Hammond confirmed that the staircases were a product of creative writing intended as creepypasta short horror stories designed to unsettle and entertain readers online. Despite this admission, the myth had already taken root, with many people continuing to share their own supposed encounters and theories about the mysterious stairs. The persistence of the legend highlights how digital folklore can evolve and spread, especially when stories tap into universal fears and curiosities. Even after the truth was revealed, the fascination with the staircases did not fade. Instead, the narrative adapted, with some people insisting that the stories were inspired by real events or that similar phenomena existed independently of the original posts. The legend became a living entity, shaped by the collective imagination of internet users. The cultural impact of the staircase phenomenon extended far beyond its origins on Reddit. In 2024, acclaimed author Chuck Wendig published the novel The Staircase in the Woods, drawing inspiration from the viral legend. The book received positive reviews and further cemented the story's place in contemporary folklore. Around the same time, YouTubers and podcast hosts continued to revisit the topic, interviewing experts on urban legends and exploring abandoned sites in search of their own answers. Meanwhile, real park rangers and search and rescue officers began to encounter questions from the public about the staircases. Some even reported being approached by hikers curious about the locations of these mysterious structures. While most rangers clarified that they had never seen anything matching the descriptions from the stories, a few admitted to coming across odd remnants of old buildings or staircases in remote areas, though none as pristine or out of place as those described online. This ongoing curiosity fueled a new wave of exploration and speculation. Online forums dedicated to paranormal phenomena and unexplained mysteries saw a steady influx of users sharing photos, recounting personal experiences, or debating the plausibility of the staircase stories. Some posts featured images of moss-covered steps or the remains of old homesteads, while others focused on the psychological impact of encountering something so out of place in the wilderness. Despite the abundance of theories, no verifiable evidence ever emerged to support the existence of untouched, freestanding staircases deep in the woods as described in the original posts. Most experts in folklore and urban legends pointed to the power of suggestion and the human tendency to find patterns in randomness. The story became a case study in how digital myths are born and sustained, showing how easily fiction can blur into perceived reality, especially when amplified by viral storytelling. The fascination with the staircases was not limited to online spaces. Some amateur explorers began organizing trips to remote forests, hoping to find evidence that would validate the legend. These expeditions were often documented in detail, with videos and blog posts describing the eerie feeling of searching for something that might not exist. While most expeditions ended with only mundane discoveries like the remains of old cabins or overgrown stone steps, the sense of anticipation and unease remained a key part of the experience. Over time, the staircase phenomenon became a template for new internet horror stories. Writers and content creators borrowed the concept, adapting it into fresh narratives that played on the same sense of dislocation and mystery. The idea of finding something inexplicable and out of place in nature resonated deeply, tapping into primal fears about the unknown. The legend continued to evolve, fueled by each new retelling and every photograph of a forgotten staircase shared online. As the years passed, the story's influence only grew stronger. By 2025, videos exploring the staircase phenomenon had amassed millions of views, with creators analyzing every detail and theorizing about possible explanations. Some focused on the psychological aspect, examining why the idea of a staircase in the woods was so disturbing. Others delved into historical records, searching for evidence of old settlements or structures that could have left behind such remnants. The legend also inspired discussions about the nature of fear and belief in the digital age. Experts in folklore and psychology were frequently interviewed, offering insights into why certain stories resonate so powerfully online. Many pointed out that the staircase legend was a perfect example of how modern myths are created and spread, combining elements of the unknown, the uncanny, and the collective imagination. The story's endurance demonstrated the lasting appeal of mysteries that remain unsolved. The continued popularity of the staircase legend also highlighted the role of community in shaping digital folklore. Online forums and social media groups became gathering places for people to share their own eerie encounters, real or imagined. Some users described stumbling upon staircases that seemed to serve no purpose, while others admitted to feeling a sense of dread, even when coming across ordinary ruins in the woods. The shared experience of discussing and dissecting the legend helped reinforce its presence in the collective consciousness. At the same time, skeptics and debunkers worked to clarify the origins of the story. They pointed out that many of the supposed sightings could be explained by natural decay or the remnants of forgotten buildings. Photographs of alleged mystery staircases were often traced back to abandoned homesteads, fire lookout towers, or public works projects from decades past. Despite these rational explanations, the myth persisted, driven by the enduring allure of the unexplained. For many, the appeal of the staircase legend lay in its ambiguity. Unlike traditional ghost stories or urban legends with clear narratives, the mysterious staircases offered no definitive answers. The lack of resolution made the phenomenon even more unsettling, allowing people to project their own fears and interpretations onto the story. This open-endedness encouraged ongoing debate and speculation, keeping the legend alive long after its fictional origins were revealed. The phenomenon also served as a reminder of how the internet can amplify and transform simple ideas into widespread cultural touchstones. What began as a handful of creative posts on Reddit quickly evolved into a global conversation, inspiring art, literature, and real-world exploration. The staircase legend became a symbol of the internet's power to create modern myths, blending fact and fiction in ways that challenge our understanding of reality. The story's endurance also demonstrated how digital folklore can influence real-world behavior. Reports surfaced of hikers and campers altering their routes or avoiding certain areas out of fear of encountering a staircase. Some even admitted to feeling uneasy when coming across any kind of abandoned structure in the woods, regardless of its actual origin. The psychological impact was clear. Even those who knew the legend was fictional found themselves affected by its imagery and implications. Meanwhile, the media continued to revisit the phenomenon. Articles, podcasts, and documentaries explored the origins and evolution of the legend, interviewing both believers and skeptics. The staircase stories were frequently cited as examples of how internet culture shapes modern beliefs and anxieties. They also served as case studies in the power of storytelling, illustrating how a simple narrative can capture the imagination of millions and persist long after the truth is known. Interestingly, the legend of the staircases also prompted some to investigate the history of American forests more closely. Researchers began cataloging actual remnants of old settlements, fire towers, and forgotten infrastructure, providing valuable insight into the country's past. This renewed interest in historical preservation was an unexpected side effect of the viral story, as people sought to separate fact from fiction and understand the real origins of the structures they encountered. At the same time, the phenomenon highlighted the blurred boundaries between reality and imagination in the digital age. Many people found it difficult to distinguish between authentic reports and creative storytelling, especially as new accounts and photos continued to surface online. The staircase legend became a cautionary tale about the importance of critical thinking and skepticism, reminding audiences that even the most compelling stories should be examined carefully before being accepted as truth. The myth also inspired a new generation of storytellers. Writers, filmmakers, and artists drew on the imagery of the staircases to create their own works, often exploring themes of isolation, the unknown, and the uncanny. The visual of a staircase rising out of the forest floor became a powerful symbol, evoking both curiosity and unease. This creative response helped ensure that the legend remained relevant, adapting to new formats and audiences over time. For some, the staircases became a metaphor for the mysteries that still exist in the world, even in an age of constant connectivity and information. The idea that something inexplicable could be hiding in plain sight resonated with people who longed for a sense of wonder and discovery. The legend reminded them that despite all our advances, there are still places and stories that defy easy explanation. The staircase phenomenon also encouraged collaboration between amateur sleuths and professional researchers. Online communities organized efforts to document and map reported sightings, comparing notes and analyzing photographs for authenticity. While most findings could be traced back to mundane origins, the process itself fostered a sense of community and collective curiosity. People from different backgrounds came together, united by a shared fascination with the unknown. As the years went on, the legend's influence could be seen in everything from horror fiction to academic studies on digital folklore. University courses and conferences began to reference the staircase stories as examples of how internet myths are created, spread, and sustained. The phenomenon became a touchstone for discussions about the power of narrative, the psychology of fear, and the ways in which technology shapes our understanding of reality. Another real-life staircase that has captured the public's imagination is the spiral staircase of the Loreto Chapel in Santa Fe, New Mexico. Built in the late 19th century, this staircase is famous for its mysterious construction and the legends that surround it. The structure makes two complete 360-degree turns with no visible means of support and was built entirely without nails, using only wooden pegs. To this day, neither the identity of the carpenter nor the exact origin of the wood has ever been definitively established, despite extensive research by historians and experts. The story goes that after the chapel was completed, the nuns realized there was no way to access the choir loft, and after praying for 9 days, a mysterious carpenter arrived. He worked in complete privacy for several months, then disappeared without accepting payment or revealing his name. Over the years, the staircase has been the subject of books, documentaries, and even a film, with some people believing it to be a miracle, while others see it as an extraordinary feat of craftsmanship. The mystery of the Loreto Chapel staircase continues to attract thousands of visitors every year, blending history, faith, and unanswered questions into one of America's most enduring architectural enigmas. The fascination with unexplained staircases, both real and imagined, reflects a broader human desire to find meaning in the mysterious. Whether it's a spiral staircase in a historic chapel or rumors of steps deep in the forest, these stories tap into our curiosity and our fear of the unknown. They remind us that, despite our efforts to map and understand the world, there are still places and phenomena that resist easy explanation. In the case of the forest staircases, the legend's endurance is a testament to the power of storytelling in the digital age. What began as a fictional narrative on Reddit quickly grew into a global phenomenon, inspiring countless adaptations and investigations. Even after the original author confirmed the story's fictional nature, the myth continued to evolve, fueled by new accounts, photos, and theories. The line between fact and fiction blurred, creating a modern legend that feels as real as any ancient folktale. The story also highlights how easily collective imagination can shape our perception of reality. As more people shared their own experiences or interpretations, the legend of the staircases took on a life of its own. Online communities debated the plausibility of the stories, analyzed photographs, and even organized expeditions to search for evidence. Each new contribution added another layer to the myth, making it increasingly difficult to separate original fiction from genuine belief. At its core, the staircase phenomenon is a reflection of our relationship with the unknown. The idea that something so ordinary as a staircase could become extraordinary simply by being out of place speaks to deeper anxieties about what lies beyond the familiar. It's this blend of the everyday and the inexplicable that gives the legend its staying power, ensuring that it remains a topic of fascination for years to come. For those who work in forestry or search and rescue, the legend has become a frequent topic of conversation. Some professionals report being asked about the staircases by hikers and tourists, while others admit to using the story as a way to break the monotony during long shifts in the wilderness. Although most dismiss the idea of perfectly preserved, freestanding staircases deep in the woods, they acknowledge that the forests are filled with remnants of the past foundations, steps, and ruins that can easily fuel the imagination. The legend has also influenced the way people interact with nature. Some hikers now approach old ruins or abandoned structures with a sense of caution or curiosity, wondering if they've stumbled upon something more mysterious. The story's presence in popular culture has made even the most mundane discoveries feel charged with significance, blurring the line between adventure and unease. The staircase phenomenon serves as a reminder that our experiences are often shaped as much by stories as by reality itself. Over time, the staircase legend has also become a case study in how digital folklore can influence memory and perception. Some individuals have reported recalling childhood encounters with strange staircases, memories that may have been shaped or even created by exposure to the online stories. Psychologists suggest that this phenomenon, known as memory implantation, is not uncommon when people are repeatedly exposed to vivid narratives that blur the line between fact and fiction. The enduring appeal of the staircase stories reveals how myths can adapt to new technologies and cultural contexts. In the past, urban legends were spread by word of mouth or through local newspapers. Today, they travel instantly across the globe, reaching millions in a matter of hours. The staircase phenomenon demonstrates how quickly a story can evolve, gather new details, and become embedded in the collective consciousness, regardless of its original intent or factual basis. As the legend continued to grow, it began to inspire not just fear, but also creativity and exploration. Artists created haunting illustrations, musicians composed eerie soundtracks, and writers crafted new tales that expanded on the original narrative. The staircase became a symbol for the unknown, appearing in everything from short films to graphic novels. This creative outpouring helped keep the story alive, ensuring its place in the evolving landscape of internet folklore. At the same time, the phenomenon sparked genuine curiosity about the forgotten history of America's wild places. Amateur historians and urban explorers started documenting abandoned structures, sharing their findings online and contributing to a broader understanding of the country's past. While most of these discoveries had logical explanations, the thrill of uncovering something mysterious remained. The legend of the staircases encouraged people to look closer at their surroundings, to question what they thought they knew, and to embrace the mysteries that still linger in the world. The staircase phenomenon also became a tool for educators and researchers studying the spread of digital folklore. University classes on internet culture began to include the legend in their syllabi, using it to illustrate how stories mutate and gain momentum online. Scholars analyzed the language and structure of the original Reddit posts, tracing how certain phrases and details were repeated and transformed as the story spread. This academic attention further legitimized the legend, making it a subject of serious inquiry as well as popular fascination. Meanwhile, the story continued to evolve as new generations encountered it. For the first time, younger internet users, unaware of the legend's origins, sometimes treated the staircase stories as genuine mysteries. This cycle of rediscovery helped the myth persist, with each retelling adding fresh perspectives and interpretations. The legend's ability to adapt and endure made it one of the most compelling examples of modern digital folklore, illustrating the powerful role that community and imagination play in shaping our shared narratives. Despite the widespread fascination, the staircase legend has also faced criticism from skeptics and experts in paranormal investigation. Many argue that the lack of verifiable evidence and the fictional origins of the story should be enough to dispel belief in the phenomenon. However, the persistence of the legend highlights how compelling narratives can override skepticism, especially when they resonate with deep-seated fears and curiosities. The debate between believers and skeptics has become part of the story itself, fueling further discussion and engagement online. In recent years, the legend has also intersected with broader conversations about misinformation and the reliability of online content. The staircase phenomenon serves as a cautionary example of how easily stories can spread and be accepted as truth, even in the absence of supporting facts. For many, it's a reminder to approach sensational claims with a critical eye, to question sources, and to recognize the difference between entertainment and reality. Still, the enduring popularity of the staircase stories suggests that for some, the thrill of the unknown is more important than the need for proof. Some researchers have noted that the staircase legend shares similarities with older folklore from around the world. Stories of strange structures appearing in remote places or of forbidden objects that should not be approached are common in many cultures. These motifs often serve as warnings or as metaphors for venturing into the unknown. The digital age has simply given these ancient themes a new platform, allowing them to reach wider audiences and take on new forms. The enduring mystery of the staircases in the woods, whether believed or not, taps into a universal fascination with the unexplained. It invites people to imagine what might be lurking just beyond the edge of the familiar, and to consider the possibility that some questions may never have clear answers. This sense of wonder and unease is at the heart of the legend's appeal, ensuring that the story continues to be shared, debated, and reimagined for years to come. The phenomenon has also inspired a new wave of digital creators to experiment with storytelling formats. Podcasts, interactive websites, and social media threads have all been used to retell and expand the legend, sometimes blending real interviews with fictional accounts to heighten the sense of ambiguity. This multimedia approach has made the staircase stories accessible to an even broader audience, drawing in listeners and viewers who might not have encountered the original Reddit posts. As the legend continues to evolve, it serves as a living example of how myths adapt to changing technologies and cultural landscapes. The staircase in the woods has become more than just an internet story. It's a collaborative narrative, shaped by countless voices and perspectives. Whether viewed as a cautionary tale, a creative challenge, or a genuine mystery, the phenomenon stands as a testament to the enduring power of storytelling in the digital age. In the end, the story of the mysterious staircases in American forests is less about the existence of the structures themselves, and more about the way stories can shape our perceptions. The legend has encouraged people to look at the world with fresh eyes, to question the ordinary, and to find meaning in the unexplained. It has also shown how easily fiction and reality can intertwine, especially when a story resonates on a deep, emotional level. For many, the staircase phenomenon is a reminder that some mysteries are worth preserving. The unanswered questions and lingering doubts keep the legend alive, inviting new generations to explore, imagine, and contribute their own interpretations. As long as there are forests to wander and stories to tell, the myth of the staircases will continue to captivate and unsettle, standing as a modern monument to humanity's enduring fascination with the unknown. The impact of the staircase legend extends beyond folklore and entertainment. It has sparked real conversations about the importance of critical thinking, the influence of viral content, and the ways in which our beliefs are shaped by what we see and share online. Teachers and parents have used the story as a tool to discuss internet literacy, encouraging young people to question sources and think carefully about what they choose to believe. Ultimately, the story's greatest legacy may be its ability to bring people together through shared curiosity and wonder. Whether debating the truth of the legend, searching for staircases in the woods, or simply enjoying the thrill of a good mystery, people from all walks of life have found common ground in the fascination with the unexplained. The staircase phenomenon is a testament to the power of storytelling to connect, inspire, and challenge us, even in a world where answers are often just a click away. As the years go by, the legend of the mysterious staircases continues to evolve, adapting to new platforms and audiences. Each retelling adds subtle variations, new details, and fresh perspectives, ensuring that the story never truly fades. The phenomenon has become a living archive of collective imagination, a digital campfire around which people gather to share their fears, hopes, and curiosities about the unknown. Even as technology advances and our understanding of the world grows, the enduring allure of the staircase legend reminds us that some mysteries are timeless. The story invites us to embrace uncertainty, to seek out the extraordinary in the everyday, and to remember that wonder and fear often walk hand in hand. In the end, the staircases in the woods are more than just a viral tale. They are a reflection of our deepest need to believe that the world still holds secrets waiting to be discovered. The legend's journey from a handful of Reddit posts to a global phenomenon illustrates how quickly stories can travel and transform in the digital era. What started as a fictional account meant to entertain has become a persistent thread in online culture, referenced in countless articles, videos, and creative projects. Its influence can be seen not only in horror communities, but also in academic discussions about the nature of modern myth-making. As new generations discover the story, the mysterious staircases in the woods will likely continue to inspire curiosity, debate, and creative expression. Whether approached as a cautionary tale about internet folklore or simply enjoyed for its eerie atmosphere, the legend endures. It stands as proof that, even in an age of information, our fascination with the unknown remains as powerful as ever. In the end, the mysterious staircases serve as a reminder that stories, no matter how improbable, can leave a lasting mark on our culture and our collective psyche. They encourage us to look closer at the world around us, to question what we think we know, and to find meaning in the unexplained. As long as people continue to share, question, and imagine, the legend will persist, inviting each new listener to step into the unknown. Whether the staircases are ever proven real or remain forever a product of digital folklore, their legacy is secure. They have become part of the fabric of internet mythology, a symbol of our endless curiosity and our love of a good mystery. The story endures, not because it is true, but because it taps into something timeless within us all, the thrill of wondering what might be waiting just beyond the trees. So, what do you think? Could something as simple as a staircase really hide a secret that defies explanation? Have you ever stumbled upon something in the woods that made your skin crawl or your imagination run wild? Share your thoughts, stories, or theories in the comments below. Let's see who among us has faced the unknown. If you enjoyed unraveling this mystery, make sure you're subscribed and have notifications turned on. That's the only way to guarantee you won't miss the next story that could change the way you see the world forever. And don't go anywhere. The next video on your screen dives even deeper into the most chilling legends that still haunt our darkest corners. Click to watch, and I'll see you there. Thanks for watching. I'm Jack.